Or you're quite blown up.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Terry Hegarty and I'm a celebrant from the Humanist Association of Ireland. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you here today on behalf of Joanna and Stephen as we celebrate the union of these two individuals and honour their commitment to one another. Now, you are their closest friends and relatives, and your presence here is warmly welcomed as they both appreciate your love and friendship on this very special occasion and also in their lives from this day forward. Joanna and Stephen would like to thank all of you for coming, especially those who have travelled long distances to be here. Our ceremony today will follow a very recognisable and mostly traditional format. We'll have readings, music and the exchanging of vows and rings. Joanna and Stephen have chosen a humanist wedding ceremony because it is a couple who are getting married at its core. This approach provides a unique opportunity for the couple to express their ideals and values in their own way with sincerity and a strong sense of individuality, surrounded by you, the people who love them. Now, humanism is a philosophy of life and ethics based on a concern for humanity and for the natural world. We believe in finding human solutions to human problems, and it's also a life stance that does not look beyond this world for inspiration or explanation. Humanists believe in the good within people and in the individual's right to freedom of choice in all decisions between birth and death. And a fundamental attitude of humanism is that people should show respect to each other irrespective of class, creed or race. Now, like all of us, Stephen and Joanna are each part of a family and network of friends, and in times of uncertainty and when separated by many miles, it becomes all the more important to recognise the value of family and friendship, the supportive web of love which surrounds us, whether face to face or across the ocean. Today you have travelled from many different places to be here as the bride and groom embark upon a new journey in their lives. However, let's also take a moment to think of those who could not be here to share in your celebrations, that their love and support are with us, both in thought and good wishes. Now, all of you have shared, supported and contributed to their lives in the past, and by witnessing their marriage ceremony today, Joanna and Stephen ask that you share in their future as well. Over the last 10 years of being together, their love has continued to grow, and what began at the first meeting following an All-Ireland final in 2008 will culminate today as they make a public acknowledgement of their devotion to each other and enter into a new phase of their lives together as husband and wife. And to quote Joanne directly, Stephen is an easygoing person who works hard for our family. We work well as a team. We've been put through many tough situations over our 10 years together, and we've always come out on top. Best thing I ever did was listen to his terrible chat-up lines.
Worked.
And to quote Stephen, Joanne is the genuinely and nicest and most thoughtful person I've ever met. She's very generous and does everything in her power to give Conor and I the best. So you see, when such a connection exists, what more can be said other than these two people before you share an undeniable devotion to each other, and that specific love and devotion they will acknowledge today. So we begin our ceremony with the lighting of the candles. Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Therefore, I would now like to invite Joanna and Stephen's mothers, Mary and Anne, to come forward and to each light a candle as a symbol of the family from which they come, representing each of them as individuals. Later, I'll ask Joanne and Stephen to light the centre candle as a symbol of the commitment that they are making here today. So Anne and Mary, in recognition of the unconditional love, support and guidance that you've given to Joanne and Stephen throughout their lives, would you each light a candle as a symbol of the continuance of that support and also of the light that your family brings to this marriage? Thanks, Mary and Anne, for your cooperation. Joanne and Stephen have been together now, as I said, for some 10 years, during which time their love and friendship has blossomed. They already have Conor, with whom they will continue to share their love and their beliefs as he grows and develops. Their challenge as parents is to leave behind a better world for Conor and to continue to provide him with the stability, love, support and a happy family environment. They want him to know how special and wonderful he is, and they also want to say to him as he grows that they will always support him. There may come times when there are things going on in his life that he may feel no other human would ever understand, but there's nothing he can ever say that will not be met with unconditional love, and such is the bond of trust that Joanne and Stephen have established with one another and extend to Conor on this day. So our first reading now is Paddy O'Dwyer. He's going to give us our reading.
May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rain fall soft upon the fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. May God be with you and bless you. May you see your children's children. May you be poor in misfortune, rich in blessings. May you know nothing but happiness from this day forward. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the warm rays of sun fall upon your home. And may the hand of a friend always be near. May green be the grass you walk on. May blue be the skies above you. May pure be the joys that surround you. May true be the hearts that love you.
That's right. Thank you. If you give him a round of applause. A joyful marriage is never being too old to hold hands. It's remembering to say I love you. It's never going to sleep angry. And it is at no time taking the other for granted. So let your courtship not end with the honeymoon period, but continue throughout all the years. Your marriage will be a great journey of surprises, joys and challenges. But above all, remember that your love for each other will prevail. And no ceremony can create your marriage, but what this ceremony does is bear witness and affirms the choice you have made to begin a new life today as husband and wife. Marriage is not just an event, but a journey. To make this marriage work, however, will take more than love. It will take trust to know in your hearts that you want only the best for each other. It will take dedication to stay open to one another, to learn and grow even when it's difficult to do so. It will take courage to honour your differences, to make the important things matter and to let go of the rest. And it will take courage to go forward together without knowing what the future holds for you both. But my advice is be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Emma Handley now is going to give us our second reading.
Talking to the sunbird yesterday, flew me to a place not far away. She's a little pilot in my mind, singing songs of love to pass the time. Gonna write a song so she can see, give her all the love she gives to me. Talk of the better days that have yet to come, never felt this love from anyone. She's not anyone. A man can never dream these kinds of things, especially when she came and spread her wings. Whispered in my ear the things I'd like, and then she flew away into the night. Gonna write a song so she can see, give her all the love she can give to me. Give her all the love she gives to me. Talk of the better days that have yet to come, never felt this love from anyone. She's not anyone.
Shoo,
disco gentle, wandering sound.
Jane Wayton now is going to give us our third reading. Jane.
Words by Bob Marley. He's not perfect. You aren't either. And the two of you will never be perfect. But if he can make you laugh at least once, cause you to think twice, and if he admits to being human and making mistakes, hold on to him and give him the most that you can. He isn't going to quote poetry. He's not thinking about you every moment. But he will give you a part of him that he knows you could break. Don't hurt him. Don't change him. And don't expect more than he can. Don't analyze. Smile when he makes you happy. Yell when he makes you mad. And miss him when he's not there. Love hard when there is love to be had. Because perfect guys don't exist, but there's always one guy that's perfect for you.
Stand up, guys. We now come to the most important part of today's ceremony, as Stephen and Joanna speak the words which formally bind them to each other as husband and wife. Marriage is a promise of hope between two people who love each other sincerely, who honour each other as individuals, and who wish to unite their lives and share their future together. In this ceremony, they dedicate themselves to the happiness and well-being of one another, and this is a union not to be taken lightly, inadvisedly or thoughtlessly, but with true love and commitment. Stephen, repeat after me. I do solemnly and sincerely declare.
I do solemnly and sincerely declare.
That I know of no lawful impediment.
That I know of no lawful impediment.
Why I, Stephen Hanley.
Why I, Stephen Hanley.
May not be joined in matrimony.
May not be joined in matrimony.
To Joanna Irvine.
To Joanna Irvine.
Joanne. I do solemnly and sincerely declare.
I do solemnly and sincerely declare.
That I know of no lawful impediment.
That I know of no lawful impediment.
Why I, Joanna Irvine.
Why I, Joanna Irvine.
May not be joined in matrimony.
May not be joined in matrimony.
To Stephen Hanley.
To Stephen Hanley.
Do you both understand the declarations you have made?
We do.
We do.
Have you made them of your own free will and without duress?
We have.
We have.
It's the legal bit done. Woo! No other human ties are more tender, and no other vows more important than the ones you are about to make. Do you, Stephen Patrick Hanley, take Joanne Mary Irving to be your lawfully wedded wife, to share a relationship of love, tenderness and laughter, to confide in and trust her above all others, to respect and stand by her in everything as an equal partner, but above all else, to love and to cherish her?
I do.
Do you, Joanne Irvine, take Stephen Hanley to be your lawfully wedded husband, to share a relationship of love, tenderness and laughter, to confide in and trust him above all others, to respect and stand by him in everything as an equal partner, but above all else, to love and to cherish him?
I do.
From now on, your individuality will be matched by your mutuality and by the sharing of all joys and sorrows in your lives. Tony, can you bring us the rings, please? Stephen, take Joanne's ring from Tony, place it on her finger and repeat after me. I, Stephen.
I, Stephen.
Take you, Joanne.
Take you, Joanne.
To be my wife.
To be my wife.
And with this ring I marry you.
And with this ring I marry you.
And join my life to yours.
And join my life to yours.
Joanne, you take the ring from Tony, place it on Stephen's finger and repeat after me. I, Joanne.
I, Joanne.
Take you, Stephen.
Take you, Stephen.
To be my husband.
To be my husband.
And with this ring I marry you.
And with this ring I marry you.
And join my life to yours.
And join my life to yours.
The circle is a symbol of wholeness and peace. In the form of a ring, may it stand for you as a symbol of your love for each other. Looking both inwards and outwards, an embrace that binds without imprisoning, and a support that reassures without restricting. The wedding bands Joanne and Stephen have just exchanged are a confirmation of the vows that they've made. So Joanne and Stephen, you have freely consented to join your lives. You have pledged yourselves to each other by the exchanging of vows and rings, and it therefore gives me great pleasure, in the presence of this company, and by the powers invested in me by the state, to formally pronounce you husband and wife.
God, give us another.
Sunrise, sunrise, looks like morning in your eyes, but the clock's at 9:50 for hours. Sunrise, sunrise, couldn't tempt to set it dry, 'cause the afternoon's already coming down. Then I say, surprise, surprise, couldn't find it in your eyes, but I'm sure it's written all over my face. Surprise, surprise, never something I could hide. When I see we made it through another day, then I say,
Stephen and Joanne, these two candles were lit by Mary and Anne to symbolise your individuality and the families from which you come. I ask now that you light the centre candle as a symbol of the new life you are entering into together, and charge you with keeping this flame bright for the rest of your days. As easy as it looks, sure, sir?
No. Yes. We got it.
Hey.
We got it.
So we come to the end of our ceremony. To the two of you I say, remember this day, those who came to wish you well and to share in your celebrations, the words you've spoken, the vows you've taken, and the emotions that you feel. I also ask you to remember that this gathering of family and friends, in front of whom you have stood here today, wish you nothing but love, laughter and happiness in the many years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom.
Things are trusting, they don't looking like a beautiful day. When my face is chamois creased, if you think I wink, I did. Laugh politely at repeats. Yeah, kiss me when my lips are thin. 'Cause holy cow, I love your eyes. And only now I see the light. Yeah, lying with you half awake, stumbling over what to say. Well, anyway, it's looking like a beautiful day. So throw those curtains wide. One day like this again, and see me right. Throw those curtains wide. One day like this again, and see me right. Throw those curtains wide. One day like this again, and see me right for life. Throw those curtains wide. One day like this again, and see me.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get your attention, please? Thank you. Ladies and gents, thank you. Ladies and gents, can I ask you all now to please be upstanding and welcome in the bride and groom, the new Mr. and Mrs. Hanley.
Oh, sorry. So can we give a round of applause for bride and groom again? We're going to party right into the evening. There's going to be a photo booth at the back as well, so make sure you get your pictures done in that later, so don't forget to do that before you go. Now, it's customary normally that the father of the bride speaks first, but we've got another very special man with us today. So can you please make a round of applause for our first speech, Mick, the father of the groom.
Kate Merler-Fulcher. Is that right? Is that right? That's from a plastic paddy from London. It's come a plastic paddy. It's great that you're all here to see your youngest son married to a lovely Joanne. And I can say that Anne and I, our photos are over there. When we got married in 1980, we never ever planned for this. But the planning has been absolutely immense. Joanne, I've never seen anything like it. I've seen spreadsheets, I've seen details. She should be a project manager. This is brilliant. So I'm going to be very short and quick. So can I all ask you to stand up and say thank you to the bride and groom, but also I'd like to use the words sláinte.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen his very beautiful daughter today become Mrs. Hanley, but he's a very special man himself. Can we give it up for father of the bride, Mike?
Good evening, everybody. The first thing before I say anything, I just want to say Mr. and Mrs. Hanley. Sounds fantastic, right? Now, I see everybody is sitting at a particular table, whether it be a race course or a name of a horse or whatever, and it's fairly traditional that people have a little bet on how long I'm going to talk. So I'm giving you the heads up. If you want to have a little bet, have a little bet, but if you don't worry about it, right? Okay. Okay, Tony, the best man, you've done a fantastic job up to this point in time. And it's not easy. He's taking care of everybody, Steve and Joanne and everybody here today. But first of all, I want to thank everybody here for coming to this very, very special occasion of the marriage of my daughter to a fantastic guy, Steve. Right? I know many people have travelled a great distance, right? Some people have come from England, Gran Canaria, Australia, and Ireland, of course. So everybody is very, very welcome here today to celebrate this special occasion. I want to welcome our new son-in-law, Steve, into the Irvine family. It's a pleasure to have such a wonderful guy attached to our family. I know Joanna a long time. But I can tell you, I think I know Steve just as long. Steve has always given both Mary and I a fantastic welcome, whether it be here in Ireland or in England. And Steve has only moved over to Ireland recently. So our visits were mostly over to England, right? And it was just fantastic. And he made us feel very, very welcome. I'd also like to extend my best wishes to Mick and Anne. Steve's parents, right? They're just absolutely wonderful people too. And I wish Joanne and Steve and their son Connor a very, very happy and long life together. I was a bit emotional when I was walking Joanne down the aisle today, right? Because I haven't done it before, really, you know. But it was just fantastic. It was a fantastic feeling to bring your daughter down in such a lovely venue as it was in there today. Now, the last time I gave a speech was when I got married in 1979, which is 39 years ago, right? And just to prove it, there is a photograph up there. My lovely wife Mary and myself got married down in Westport in 1979. And in the Rafi, yeah, that's right, Rafi House Hotel. And I just thought, on reflection, that I'd think a little bit of how times have changed in the last 39 years, right? And I'm going to say this to Joanne and Steve. When we got married, we had maybe 100 people, and our reception cost something like £175. And we were just thinking about some of the gifts that we got. I think we got something like 6 ironing boards. And we also got a lot of pressure cookers in those days, right? And one present that stuck out mostly was we got a toaster, but it only worked in America. Anyway, I'm not going to go on too long. I know other people might want to say a few words, but this is a fantastic special day for us, Mary, myself, and Mick and Anne, and Joanna and Steve, and their son Connor. And I want everybody to enjoy themselves, have a great time. There's great entertainment laid on for the rest of the evening. Somebody told me Elvis might turn up, I don't know. Elvis can just turn up sometimes, but sometimes he doesn't, right? Anyway, I want to wish everybody a happy and peaceful day here and really have the crack. Thank you.
So hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say hello and welcome from me and my wife, Joanne Hanley. I'd like to thank you all for spending the day with us, travelling from far and wide, joining us on this special day. To organise such an amazing day, I have to firstly thank my wife, Joanne, for all of her hard work to ensure that all of today and the rest of tonight will run as smoothly as possible. I'm sure you'll agree, she looks absolutely amazing. She does a great job of looking after me and Connor. And I'd like to raise a toast to my new wife, Joanne. To Joanne. Also, a very special thank you to our fantastic flower girls, Emma, Sophie and Faye, who did a very important job today. But mainly a massive thank you also goes out to Chief Bridesmaid, Sarah O'Neill. I'm sure you'll admit she also looks just as amazing today. She organised a great hen for Joanne. I now hope Joanne hasn't acquired a long-lasting taste for five-star hotels. I believe a good night was had by all the girls. And a late one, which obviously involved a trip to Copperface Jack's. Talking of coppers. Hold on. It was 10 years ago, and myself, Paddy O'Dwyer, along with my brother Matthew, made the trip over for the weekend to Dublin for the All-Ireland final in 2008. Also meeting up with a few other members of the wedding party, my cousin Sean, Megan Smith, Alistair Carey, to name but a few. However, the best part of the weekend was when my eyes went across the room and saw a blonde girl at the bar. Little did I know that lady was to become my wife today. There are a few more important people here to thank. Joanne's parents, Mick and Mary here. My own parents, Anne and Mick, who without them both today wouldn't have been possible. So we'd like to present some presents here to the mothers. My mother always used to say, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, which has stuck with me over the years. She also came all the way from England today to make sure I'd finished all my dinner and eaten all my greens. Thanks, Mum. My mother-in-law, Mary, who me and I share a love for going to watch the Gaelic football games with. mainly watch our team Mayo lose. We both enjoy supporting the green and red. And hopefully the Sam Maguire will be going back to the West this year. Also with Mick Irvine here, we both share a couple of love of things. That being Guinness and horse racing. We'd often bump into each other on a Saturday afternoon in Paddy Power. Both of our better halves not knowing we were there. That is not a lie either. You'll see today, obviously, the tables just sat on are named after famous race courses and famous race horses. My love of horse racing came from my father here. He's taken us to the races as kids and stemmed from his father, my granda, PJ Hanley. I was close to my granda PJ and often spend a Saturday afternoon watching Channel 4 racing or going to Cheltenham in March with him. Sadly, he's no longer with us, so I'd like to raise a glass to all those who could not be here today. This includes my nanny Nora and nanny Joan, who are back in England. So please raise a glass for all those who can't be here with us today. Is the sound all right? Thanks also to my best man Tony, who arranged a fantastic stag weekend in Munich. Also to the boys in Dublin, who arranged a more local stag night, both of which I'm very lucky to have had 2 stag do's arranged for me, so thank you to all the lads. Thank you to my groomsmen, Bobby Hare. Ooh. My 2 brothers, Matthew and Adrian, who made today go as smooth as they could do. Thanks to the hotel, put on an amazing spread today. I'm sure you have all seen the staff in the hotel today and how hard they work to make this all happen. Particularly to Ashley, who's just ran off there to the bar. I can see you. Anthony, who you'll see around the room, and Saoirse, the wedding planner. So particularly to those. Thanks again. I just want to thank everyone from me and my wife, our little man Connor. Hope you all have a great time today. Hold on. I'm now going to hand this microphone over to Tony Perry. I have to let you aware, Tony has a split personality. By daytime, he's a very smart 3-piece suit wearing wedding organiser. At the best hotels in London, you can often find him schmoozing in the Dorchester or the Savoy. Tony's second personality is that of DJ TP, who often is in the clubs of East London with a cap back to front and a basketball vest on. So I have to warn you, I'm not sure which Tony's turning up tonight. Thanks again all. I hope you enjoyed the food and entertainment today and tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for those wonderful words, Steve. Of the million stories we've heard you tell over the years, that was definitely the best one. Now, we've got one more speech left as well, just before we go any further. He's someone that's come over from London today. We can't quite believe he's here. And I want you all to show your appreciation for me. Sorry to disappoint some of you. For those of you who don't know me, usually I'm Tony, but today I'm also the best man, the MC, the DJ, the ring bearer, the chef, and the photographer. Steve asked me if I wanted to be one of the bridesmaids, but I think, Sarah, you look much better in that dress than I ever would. And on that note, I've got to say, Joanne, you look absolutely stunning today. You make a truly beautiful bride. I think we all knew you were going to look absolutely gorgeous anyway, so you look stunning. Steve, you've not scrubbed up too badly yourself, and the course of 10 sunbeds that you told me invested in have definitely paid dividends. You're looking very ream. I want to say that the groomsmen are also looking very tall, and one of them is just looking quite angry. So you actually look all really smart, to be honest. You all look great, and you've done a fantastic job. Now, many of you know Steve loves telling a story and is dubbed Tell a Story Steve, but now it's a pleasure to tell a few of my own about the big man. It's especially an honour, as in truth, he could have had any one of number of best men today, and being a best man is a tough gig. It's about 5 minutes of glowing pride, followed by an eternity of panic and misery. Joanne, I expect you had a similar experience when Steve asked you to be his wife. All jokes aside, Steve is one of the most popular people you're ever likely to meet. He's known many of you for some 30 years, all the way back to his prep school days at St Monica's in North London, before joining myself and the rest of the gang at St Columbus, where he and I and many of you guys were in the same year. To the Columbus guys. But I actually first met Steve when we were about 12 years old during the summer holidays, when some of the local kids asked me to play tennis and hang out at the local park. The day was going well, but that all changed when I arrived at the park. Alarmingly, there appeared to be a fully grown man, at least 30 years old, playing tennis with the children. More concerning, this looked like to be an elaborate ploy, as despite the significant height advantage, the tall man didn't manage to hit a single ball. He was a shocking tennis player and clearly no sportsman. What was he doing here? Concerned for the safety of myself and the other children, I had to ask some of my mates what was going on. It turned out this uncoordinated 6-foot giant was in fact the same age as us. His name was Steve Hanley, and he happened to be a really nice guy. A year later, Stephen and I ended up at the same school and became thick of thieves with the rest of the lads. After all, who wouldn't want a mate that could buy all the alcohol you want despite only being 13? Now, only some of his closest pals will know of Steve's illustrious and varied career over the years. And whilst tennis wasn't his thing, he did try his hand at many other pastimes. And I think we should chat about just a few of these ever so quickly. Not many of you know we're in the presence of a sporting giant. Age 14, twice the size of his peers, Steve was seen as a great option for the school rugby team. There was a lot expected of him, so he tried not to get too disheartened when the coach told Steve he was to play for the B team of the age group 2 years below us. Getting ready for the match, he pulled on a fresh pair of size 13 boots, running onto the pitch at a top speed of 3 miles per hour. It was time for a final few stretches. The new Brian O'Driscoll was ready. A legend was to be born. However, tragedy struck minutes before he was to make his debut. In a freak accident, whilst bending over to tie his size 13 shoes, Steve managed to dislocate his knee before a single ball was kicked. It's deadly true. One of his 3 legs was badly broken. He'd never play rugby again. Whilst he never made it onto a rugby pitch, not many of you know you're in the presence of one of North London's finest entrepreneurs. With a keen eye for a bargain, Steve has a fine collection of knockoff watches, Rolflex, Cartier, Casio, and a Hublot that needs to be dried in the sun after you've had a shower. Joanne, all I can say is he does love you very much, because I can assure you the ring is totally genuine. Steve was a real wheeler dealer, but his biggest venture came in 2005, where I received a phone call from the big man asking me for my knowledge on cocoa butter and if I'd ever been to a West Indian hairdresser's. Steve had somehow acquired 500 tubs of knockoff cocoa butter. He insisted I help, and we spent the day, 2 white boys in a fully packed white van, knocking on the doors of North London's finest African hairdressers. Steve, I must say, you're looking radiant today. And with only 459 cases of cocoa butter to go, you'll be looking well for many years ahead. Now, there's not much longer to go, don't worry. So whilst Steve never made it onto The Apprentice, not many of you know you are in the presence of a legendary recording artist. Steve turned his attention to the arts. The MC, Steve Geese on the mic, educated in luxurious London night spots such as Eros and Opera House, under the wing and guidance of his brothers Matt and Aid, cousin JH and sidekick Bobby, Steve fancied himself as the next Dizzy Rascal, dubbing himself 6'5" and lyrically large. Sadly, all recordings of Steve's talent were lost. Until now. This is the genuine and surviving recording of Steve Geese on the mic. Right. Unfortunately, he never made it onto the X Factor. Moving forward a few years, Steve got finally something right when he met Joanne. Steve, you're most definitely punching. I think we can all agree on that today. She looks gorgeous. Joanne, I know you had a great time with your girls in Dublin on the Hen. And Steve, I wish I could say the same about you in Munich. A big thanks to all the lads who made it over to Journey, and safe to say we had an absolute blast. Some would say a riot. We visited a variety of bars, sports bars, beer bars, cocktail bars and prison bars. On the whole, we were very well behaved and had strict instructions there were to be no strippers. And we stayed true unto our word until Steve took matters into his own hands, where for no fault of his own, with the assistance of the German guard, he was found stripped to his boxers and handcuffed. These weren't the teas the lads have been hoping for. To conclude, we got our man home safely, and I've got to say that today, in many ways, Steve is a big man, and his height is only matched by the size of his heart. There you go. Which he wears on his sleeve for all to see. Steve, genuinely, you are loved by all who spend time with you, and even if your stories do drag on a bit, no one would change you for the world. You've always been destined for success in your career since a very young age, working incredibly hard. You are conscientious, and I know you will continue to the very, very top in whatever you do. Incredibly generous and caring, with Joanne, you found the perfect partner, and together you've both taken these qualities into parenthood. And I know just how proud you are of Connor, who looked ever so handsome earlier today as well. The pair of you are truly special people, an example of a real family unit. You have hearts of gold. I know together you have much ahead, and I really wish you both a lifetime of happiness. You really deserve it, and I'm so happy that you're now Mr. and Mrs. Hanley. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise the toast for Steve and Joanne. Cheers. Cheers. And before we get up and do some dancing, we've got some very, very special guests in the house this evening. It's the Dowley School of Irish Dancing. Take it away, girls.
we have your attention now? We're going to invite Joanna and Steve to the floor. Would you please give them a huge round of applause? I've been trying to do it right. Hey, I've been living the wrong way in life. I've been sleeping here instead. Hey, I've been sleeping in my bed. I'm sleeping in my bed. Hey. So show me family. Hey, all the good that I would need. I don't know where I went wrong. Hey, I don't know right from wrong. I can write a song. Hey. I belong with you. You belong with me. You're my sweetheart. I belong with you. You belong with me. You're my sweetheart. I belong with you. You belong with me. You're my sweetheart. I belong with you. You belong with me. You're my sweetheart. Hey. blossom caught in the carnival. Confidence forgot tonight. Hear your gypsy roar. What you waiting for? What you waiting for? What you waiting for? What you waiting for? 'Cause when I dance alone and the songs beat down, blame it on me. When I lose control and the fades overused, blame it on me. 'Cause when I dance alone and the songs beat down, blame it on me. When I lose control and the fades overused, blame it on me. Oh, what you waiting for? What you waiting for? Oh, what you waiting for? No, what you waiting for? I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so right about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. When you're out there, when I care, I was out of touch. It wasn't because I didn't go wrong. It's 'cause I did too much. I tell ya, does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. I hope that you are having the time of your life. Here's my advice. You better think twice. Oh, now who do you think you are? Ah, bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. My heroes have all lived a life I want to live. And all I remember is thinking I want to be like them. Well, ever since I was little, it all looked like fun. But it's no coincidence I've come. I can die when I'm done. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Possibly. Oh. Tell me that you want me, and I'll be yours completely, for better or for worse. I know we'll have our disagreements, be fighting for no reason. I wouldn't change it for the world. 'Cause I knew the first day that I met you, I was never gonna let you slip away.
And I still remember feeling nervous, trying to find the words to get you here today. You make my heart feel like it's summer when the rain is pouring down. You make my whole world feel so right when it's wrong. It's how I know you are the one. That's why I know you are the one. Life is easy to be scared of. With you I am prepared for what is yet to come. 'Cause our two hearts will make it easy, joining up the pieces, together making one.